RSU librarian and your local horror enthusiast. Welcome to the first Spooktober review of the year. For those of you that don't know, I exclusively read horror and thriller-related titles for the month of October, which I deem Spooktober, and then I share my thoughts in spooky book reviews. Today I'll be reviewing the young adult novel Horrid by Katrina Leno. You can see that awesome cover here, and it will be available for checkout in the Stratton Taylor Library. While Horrid features many of the typical haunted house horror tropes, there is so much more to this story than a spooky mansion. After the sudden death of her father, protagonist Jane North Robinson and her mother Ruth move across the U.S. from bright and sunny California to dreary Maine, where Ruth's hometown and family home, known as North Manor, resides. The old abandoned mansion creaks and settles with every footstep and gust of wind, and Jane finds herself feeling increasingly uneasy in the house. To make matters worse, she encounters the resident outcast and bully at her new school and struggles to contain her anger, which is only eased by slowly eating pages from her books. As she slowly makes friends at her new school, she begins to hear the rumors about North Manor and the story behind it. Ruth seems uneasy in the house too, and Jane can't quite understand why she would have left it and her family behind all those years ago. Tension rises when bumps and noises echo from the mysteriously locked room upstairs that Ruth claims is just for storage. As more mysterious things happen, Jane begins to wonder what secrets the house and her mother are hiding. My favorite thing about Horrid is that it shows how different grief is for each person in the novel as it is in real life. While the horror mystery propels the story forward, the underlying story is about loss and how the characters cope with grief. Jane not only eats the pages from her books to soothe her temper, but she also uses it as a mechanism to feel closer to her father and remember their time together. Ruth, mourning her husband and old life in California, throws herself into her new job and distances herself from everyone. As someone who lost a parent as a young adult, I found Horrid to be extremely relatable. If you've ever read old letters or texts from someone you've lost, or even called their phone knowing they won't answer just to hear their voice on the voicemail, you know what I'm talking about. I really enjoyed Horrid for how it handled grief, mental illness, family relationships, and trauma, and not to mention the spooks, dread, and the ending that surprised me and I really liked. If you enjoy haunted house stories or relatable stories about loss and grief, then I definitely recommend checking out Horrid. Overall, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And if you like Horrid or are looking for other similar titles, be sure to check out Agatha Christie's novels, many of which are directly mentioned in the text. Thanks.